First, however, a look at the Chicago Bulls, who need to win 6 of their final 8 games for their second straight 70-win season. And they are certainly the favorites to win another NBA title. But there's uncertainty about the return next year of both Michael Jordan and their coach, Phil Jackson. Peter Vecsey spoke with the head coach who has guided this team to its 4 NBA championships.
We're happy to have announced the signing of Coach Jackson to a 1-year contract extension.
Phil, do you feel it is time, to win or lose, for you to move on?
Well, you know, from my own standpoint, I was ready to go last year or even the year before. I mean, it was, you know, it's a long time to spend with one ball club. But when you have a group of players that you've coached and want you to come back.
Is that what totally influenced you? Was that it?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I was basically in my office packing at one point last year, ready to go, but the guys came in and said, you know, please come back, you know, make the decision. It'll hang us together. And so I felt an obligation to do that, and I feel the same way. This group wants to come back together again. This organization wants to put it back together again. It'd be real tough to say no and move on.
Phil wanted a 1-year agreement. We wanted a 1-year agreement. We felt it was best for both parties.
Were your feelings hurt last year during the finals when you found out that Jerry Krause was talking to other candidates, possible candidates?
I've always taken that as, hey, it's understandable that a coach is going to be replaced, and there should be someone that's there as a replacement person. So no, in answer to your question, I was not bothered at all by it last year. In fact, it humored me a little bit because, you know, there's some underdog doings that have to happen to do that kind of, you know, wooing. We're doing it differently this year. There's going to be an agreement that, you know, we're not going to be hanging it out and people aren't going to be left out to hang to dry, kind of, so to speak, at the end of the playoffs when all the other jobs are taken and you're still doing your job coaching. You know, Mr. Reinsdorf realized that that wasn't a fair equation. It wasn't fair for me.
Which is why you've got a clause in your contract this year that allows you to talk to any team at the end of the regular season, and a little different procedure if you want to talk to a playoff opponent, correct?
How'd you get that information, Pete? That is in the contract, but I mean, you know, how do you get that information?
Is that is correct?
It is correct, but you are a scam. You've gotten that information.
If you do want to talk to a playoff opponent,
yep,
what is the procedure that you have to go through? You have to ask for permission?
Well, I want to keep that part private, Pete. I mean, that is in my contract. There is a little procedure that has to go through, but it's available.
I know it's almost impossible to walk away from coaching Michael Jordan if he decides to come back next year. At the same time, you know, when Pat Riley left L.A., yep, he had a burning desire to prove that he could win without Magic and Kareem. Do you have that same burning desire to prove to people?
Well, I think that, you know, I feel confident about that. We won without Michael being here 1 year, and people, you know, tend to forget that now that he's back. There are some teams out there that obviously are ready to make the next step into championship caliber teams. That would be hard to turn away from if you had those kind of offers. But the reality is that you need time away from this game when you've done as intense a 7 or 8 years as I've done. But there is going to be an end. It's going to have to end someday, and we have to all face that. It's like death. It's coming.